Hello students, this is Latif sir. Today I am going to discuss about the fourth chapter of ICSE class 9. The topic is atomic structure. So what is an atom? You have studied in lower classes that an atom is the smallest particle of an element that exhibits all the properties of that element. It may or may not exist independently, but it can take part in every chemical reaction. So, what is an atom? An atom is the smallest particle of an element that exhibits all the properties of that element. It may or may not exist independently, but can take part in every chemical reaction. And you know that atoms consist of proton, neutron, and electron. That is the constituent of an atom is proton, neutron, and electron. In this chapter, you have to read the discovery of different constituent of an atom and about atomic model. So let's start the constituent of an atom. The first constituent I'm going to discuss about electron. So first discovery of electron. Scientist William Crookes, a British scientist, noted that gases are ordinarily poor conductor of electricity. However, when a high voltage, near about 10,000 voltage, charge from an induction coil is applied to a tube filled with gases at very low pressure, nearly 0.01 millimeter Hg pressure, the gases become good conductor of electricity and begin to flow from cathode to anode in the form of rays. Since these rays originated from negative plate, that is from the cathode, and travel from the cathode towards the anode, they are called cathode rays. So William Crookes did this experiment of cathode ray, which is called cathode ray experiment, and he observed that a ray is passing from the discharge tube. Actually, this experiment was done in a discharge tube made by a glass, which looked like this. This is a discharge tube. So in this experiment, he found that a ray originated from the negative plate, that is cathode, and traveled from cathode towards anode, and these rays called cathode rays. Later, J.J. Thomson studied the characteristic and the constituent of cathode rays. The apparatus used by him is called a discharge tube or a cathode ray tube, which look like this. A discharge tube is a hard glass tube fitted with two metal plates known as electrodes, one of which is considered to the positive terminal of the battery, one of which is connected to the positive terminal of the battery, and this terminal is called anode, that is positive electrode, while the electrode which is connected to the negative terminal of the battery is called cathode, that is negative electrode. It has a side tube through which gas is gas can be pumped. Gas can be pumped out by using a vacuum pump. So J.J. Thomson studied, or J.J. Thomson did the same experiment of William Crookes in a discharge tube and analyzed the properties of cathode rays. So what are the characteristic properties of cathode rays? The cathode rays travel from the cathode to anode in a straight line. First properties of cathode ray, they are travel they travel from the cathode to anode in a straight line. Second, they cause a greenish yellow fluorescence on the soda glass screen placed in the tube. They can make fluorescence, greenish yellow fluorescence on the soda glass screen placed in the tube. Third, they are affected by electric field. That is, they are inflected towards the positive field and deflected from the negative field. They are they are inflected towards the positive field and deflected from the negative field. This shows that they carry negative charge because the cathode rays are inflected towards positive field. That's why the cathode rays carry negative charge, because opposite charge always attract to each other. And fourth properties of cathode rays: when a beam of cathode ray is upon made to fall upon hard metallic hard metallic target like tungsten, X-ray are produced. Fifth properties is they penetrate through matter. Sixth, they cause ionization of gas through which they pass. And the last property, the ratio of charge to mass of the particle constituting cathode rays remain the same. That is, charge by mass ratio of cathode rays, that is E by M ratio, is always same, and the value of E by M ratio of cathode rays is 1.76 into 10 to the power 11 coulomb per kg. These values is always fixed irrespective of the nature of gas taken and the metal forming the cathode. These are properties of cathode rays, and some important properties are they travel from cathode to anode in a straight line. Huh. They are inflected towards positive electrode. They can ionize gas through the gas. They can ionize gas through which they pass, and the ratio of charge to mass ratio of cathode rays is always same, and the value is 1.76 into 10 to the 11 coulomb per kg. From these properties, Thomson conclude that cathode rays consist of negatively charged particles, which now called electrons. The name electron, meaning atom of negative electricity, was given by Johnson Stoney. The negatively charged particles are integral part of all atoms. These negatively charged particles, which are called electrons, are an integral part of all atoms. Electrons have both definite mass and definite electric charge, both of which are independent of the nature of the gas in the discharge tube. Now, properties of electrons. Electrons from all sources are alike and having identical mass, and they are constituent part of all atoms. They are constituent parts of all all atoms contains electrons, and the mass of electrons is 1 by 1837 part uh, of the mass of an hydrogen atom, and the mass of electron in kg is in SI system is 9.108 into 10 to the minus 31 kg. The mass of electron is 9.108 into 10 to the minus 31 kg, and the charge of electron is minus 1 unit, or in coulomb the charge of electron is minus 1.602 into 10 to the minus 19 coulomb. You have to remember the mass and charge of electron. An electron is represented by a symbol E. Electrons are represented by a symbol E. Sometimes it is minus 1 E and 0. Minus 1 means its charge, it represents its electrical charge. Okay, and in coulomb unit the charge is minus 1.602 into 10 to the minus 19 coulomb. And you know that atoms are electrically neutral. That means atoms contain equal number of positively charged particle and equal number of negatively charged particles, the total such that the atom electrically neutral. So atom are found to be electrically neutral, so they must contain in addition particles that are positively charged, such that the total negative charge of the electrons is equal to the total positive charge. This realizing lead to the discovery of positively charged subatomic particles, photons. So discovery of photons. Now discovery of photons. And you have to remember that in all atoms, the number of negatively charged electrons is equal to number of positively charged proton. Now discovery of photons. Scientist Goldstein Scientist Goldstein noticed another set of rays traveling in the direction opposite to that of the cathode rays. That is from the anode towards the cathode. When a perforated cathode was used in the discharge tube, and he called these rays as canal rays, since these rays pass through the holes or canal in the cathode. So in the same experiment, that is cathode ray experiment, Goldstein found or noticed that another set of rays traveling from the direction of opposite to that of the cathode rays. Cathode rays uh, travel from cathode to anode towards anode, but anode rays anode rays traveling in the opposite direction to that of the cathode rays, that is from anode towards cathode. when when a perforated cathode was used in the in the discharge tube, and he called these rays as canal rays, since these rays passed through holes or canals in the cathodes, and these rays were named as positive rays or anode rays. Okay, so production of anode rays is showing in the figure 7.3. Anode rays are passing through the holes of anode. That's why these are also called canal rays. Now, properties of anode rays. Anode rays travel in a straight line similar to cathode rays, and they consist of minute material particle and hence produce mechanical effect. They are made up of positively charged particle, just opposite of cathode rays. Cathode rays consist of negatively charged particle, but anode rays consist of positively charged particle. And positive positive rays are deflected by electric and magnetic field, but in a direction opposite to that of cathode rays. This means that these rays consist of positively charged particle called photons. I have told that anode rays are inflected towards positive electric field but deflected from negative electric field, but anode rays uh, the deflection of anode rays just opposite the opposite of cathode rays. Okay, this means these rays consist of positively charged particles called photons, and these rays produce fluorescence on a zinc sulfide screen, and the charge to mass ratio, that is E by M ratio, differ from gas to gas in case of cathode rays, but in case of anode rays the charge to mass ratio never differ. always be- uh, bec- Always the charge to mass ratio is same for cathode rays, but for anode rays the charge to mass ratio, that is E by M ratio, differ from gas to gas, that is it depends on the nature of the gas used in the discharge tube, and its value is much less than that of an electron, and maximum when hydrogen gas is taken in the discharge tube. So charge to mass ratio is maximum for hydrogen gas, uh, in case of anode rays. From this experiment, proton discovered, and proton can be represented by p 1 plus 1 p and 1. The superscript 1 represents its mass 1 AMU, and the subscript plus 1 represent 1 unit positive charge. Okay. When a electron removed from hydrogen atom, that is hydrogen atom contains one proton and one electron. If you remove the one electron from hydrogen atom, it becomes only one single proton. So hydrogen, after removing one electron from hydrogen atom, it becomes H plus, which is actually a proton, because H plus contain only one proton, no electron are there. So now properties of proton. Protons possess a unit positive charge, that is charge of proton is plus 1, and in coulomb unit it is charge of proton is 1.602 into 10 to the minus 19 coulomb, just opposite. uh, Value of charge of proton and electron are same, but you have to give negative sign for charge of electron. Huh. But charge of proton is plus 1.602 into 10 to the minus 19 coulomb, and mass of proton is 1 AMU. That is, proton is 1837 times heavier than the mass of an electron. That is, mass of an electron in kg or in gram. The mass of an electron in gram is 1.672 into 10 to the minus 24 gram. 1.672 into 10 to the minus 24 gram. You have to remember the mass and charge of subatomic particles. The proton resides in the central part of an atom, which is called nucleus. So, after the discovery of electron and protons, J.J. Thomson proposed pump pudding model of atom. J.J. Thomson discovered first. J.J. Thomson discovered electron, and later scientist Goldstein discovered proton by anode ray experiment. Okay, and then after discovery of proton and proton and electron, J.J. Thomson proposed pump pudding model of the atom. And according to this model, an atom is considered to be a sphere of uniform positive charge, which is shown in the figure 7.4. J.J. Thomson's pump pudding model of the atom. So according to this model, an atom is considered to be a sphere of uniform positive charge, and electrons are embedded into it. The total positive charge is equal to the total negative charge, so that an atom as a whole is electrically neutral. The mass of an atom is considered to be uniformly distributed. This is pump pudding model of atom. But this model uh, was rejected because the electrons are not arranged in such a manner in an atom. That's why this postulate was not accepted, or this model was, this pump pudding model, sometimes called watermelon model, okay, was rejected. Okay, thank you.